Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Now today is a little different. Today's video is a little bit different. You guys have seen me play Baldur's Gate, so you guys would probably know that I like D&D. If you guys didn't know, I like D&D a lot. So much so that I become D&D deprived. Now I need some form of D&D or else I'm going to implode and explode at the same time. Don't question how that works. I saw this video of someone doing a role for character creation thing, and I thought that was really cool, so I thought I would also do that. So here is the dice sheet. We're gonna roll a d20 for a race. Now if there are any sub-races to any of these races, then I get the creative ability to choose a sub-race. Now for class, it'll be a d12, because unfortunately there's no d13, so I had to get rid of a class, and I decided to get rid of the least popular and my least favorite in my opinion, the Ranger, because if I'm being honest, the Ranger is just a downgraded version of a Druid. So for class, we'll be rolling a d12. We got all the basic classes. We got the Paladin, Fighter, Barbarian, Rogue, Wizard, Cleric, Monk, Bard, Druid, Artificer, Sorcerer, and Warlock. Again, if there's any subclasses to any of these classes, then I could choose the subclass to class. And then we have the background, which will be choosing, which will be helping me choose the vibe or the personality trait of the character that the character will be giving off that I'll be drawing. So we have the basic backgrounds that I got from Baldur's Gate, because there are a lot of basic backgrounds, and there are exactly 12 backgrounds in Baldur's Gate, which is very convenient for this specific scenario. And then for the colors, we have 4d6. I'm going to be rolling 1d6 for each color. Now, quick rule for the colors, just because I got the colors doesn't mean I have to use the colors, because the color thing is more a guideline type thing. It gives me an idea for a color palette and stuff like that. Now, I will say I have to stick with at least one of the colors, and, well, because it's a roll thing. I don't want to just roll and not do any of it. And then for the gender, I have a roll of d4, and we have male, female, non-binary, and then a gender of my choice. So, with all this in mind, let's get started. Now, usually I would have physical dice, but I don't have a camera to do an overhead shot properly, so I have a D&D dice roller. Very underwhelming, I know. So I'm gonna make 4 characters, the perfect amount of characters for a full party in D&D. So to start, we're gonna start with the race for our first character. A 16, a Goliath. Ooh, okay, a Goliath, okay. Then for the class, 11. Sorcerer, a Goliath Sorcerer. Ooh, never heard of that come before, actually. And then for the background, we have a 5, which is going to be a folk hero. And then for the colors, 4d6. Okay, for the colors, 4d6. I didn't put into thought about reoccurring numbers. Okay, 4 different numbers. 2, 1, 6, 4. Orange, red, purple, green. Those are the color palettes I have for the Goliath Sorcerer, who is going to be female. Zoria Steadychaser was born in the unforgiving peaks of the spine of the world, a Goliath among Goliaths. From a young age, she understood that survival in the harsh mountains required not just strength, but also cunning and control. While others in her tribe relied on brute force, Zoria observed how the leaders maintained power through influence and subtle manipulation. She learned quickly that to rise above, she needed more than just muscle. She needed the loyalty and admiration of others. Her storm sorcery manifested during a brutal storm that ravaged her homeland, a force of nature that left her tribe in awe and fear. But where others saw a curse, Zoria saw an opportunity. She owned her powers in secret, practicing her control over the storms until she could command the winds and lightnings as easily as a warrior wields a blade. When a neighboring village called for aid against a tyrannical official, Zoria made her move. She led the villagers to a rebellion, positioning herself as their savior. The uprising succeeded, and the villagers hailed her as a hero, the protector of the weak and vanquisher of oppressors. But Zoria's intentions were far from noble. Each act of heroism was a calculated step in her plan to amass power. She carefully crafted her public image, ensuring that every deed was witnessed and retold across the lands. As her reputation grew, so did her influence, allowing her to manipulate those who trusted her without them ever suspecting her true motives. Zoria's ultimate goal was not just to be revered, but to wield the kind of power that could reshape the world itself, and she knew that the first step toward that goal was to become the hero everyone believed her to be. Now, as tales of her bravery spread, Zoria continues her journey, always seeking new opportunities to elevate her status. She smiles as people praise her name, knowing that with each cheer and each grateful glance, her true power grows stronger. Now, I decided to make the folk hero not so heroic. They have a folk hero background, yes, they come off as a hero, but their intentions aren't, well, noble, as one should say. Zoria, like I told in the backstory, she's all about presenting herself as a hero and all about her public image. She's a bit overconfident, sometimes even getting to fights that she can't win, but it's all in the name of her public image. Sometimes she will go into a fight, coming as a hero, and sheer determination and sheer force makes her come off as a hero. Her will to defeat the enemy makes people admire her. I decided to give her a more casual approach to her style, because, I mean, she's all about public image. She doesn't want to, like, you know, dress all, like, flary and stuff like that, because she thinks that dressing all flary will make her come off as prejudice, I think it's called. I don't know. Something along the lines of, like, you know, dressing too fancily is, like, being too out there and kind of telling others that she knows she's the best when she wants to come off as humble. Even though she's not humble at all, but she comes off as humble. I'd say the hardest thing to draw would be the fire, because I'm not used to drawing elements, and drawing the fire was particularly difficult because of layers and having it come off as fire. Also, shading was also pretty difficult. Shading is just difficult in general, so I'm just gonna give that a general, oh, shading is difficult pass type thing. I don't know. But yeah, that's Zoria Steadychaser, a Goliath sorcerer, Storm sorcerer to be specific, who comes off as a folk hero, but really has really bad intentions, or ill intentions, or the intentions of someone not good. You guys get the idea. Now, for our second character, we're gonna do, a 12, okay. A 12 is going to be a Genasi. I've actually never played as a Genasi before. Now that I've played as a Goliath. I think a Goliath is like a half giant, and a Genasi is like a elemental person? I don't know. Alright, a 3. It's gonna be a barbarian. Okay, so Genasi barbarian with the background of a guild artisan. Okay. And then for the colors, recurring number, 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 orange, yellow, green, and blue. Then for the gender is going to be a female as well. Okay. Ash Wildfire was born into a family of master blacksmiths, known for crafting weapons of unparalleled beauty and strength. From a young age, she showed an exceptional talent for metalwork, her passion for the forge burning as hot as the flame she worked with. Joining a prestigious guild of artisans, Ash quickly rose through the ranks, her creations earning her widespread admiration. But her love for the guild was more than just dedication. It became an all-consuming obsession. She wanted to see the guild not just succeed, but dominate. As her frustrating with the limits of her craft grew, so did her inner turmoil. The meticulous, controlled environment of the forge could no longer contain the storm of emotions within her. The passion she once poured into her art began to manifest into primal fury, and Ash found herself drawn to battle as a new outlet for her rage. When the guild faced threats, Ash was the first to take up arms, channeling her anger into a raw, unstoppable force. Her strength, owned by the years of physical labor at the forge, combined with her newfound rage, transformed her into a fearsome barbarian. No longer just an artisan, Ash became the guild's fiercest protector, her weapons, both crafted and wielded, an extension of her indomitable spirit. Yet beneath the surface, she struggled with the duality of her nature, the peaceful creator and the raging warrior. Now, she forges ahead on a path of both art and fury. Ash Wildfire seeks out not just to defend her guild, but to carve out a legacy that will be remembered in both the weapons she crafts and the enemies she vanquishes. Ash Wildfire is a raging spirit. They put their passion into everything, and it comes out in a bit of a rage. And, you know, that's their downfall, but it's also an upfall, because they put their passion into what they make, but it comes out in a very, very angry demeanor. It comes out angrily, yes. I gave her style a more freeing approach because she's a barbarian. She has to be able to swing around, you know, be able to move her limbs freely. So I gave her, you know, some sleeveless crop top type armor type thing. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what it's called, but like I gave her leather armor, but I also had her arms free so she can, you know, wield her weapon more. The weapon I gave her was something that she made in her past, back when she was building a lot. She has a fire genasi, as well you can probably tell, and her fire glows blue whenever she rages, which is cool. But now here's the thing: she is a wild magic barbarian, which means sometimes when she goes into a rage, she sends off a wild spurge of magic, which happens when her hair turns purple. So whenever you see, so if you're in a battle with her and you see her hair turn purple, you know that there's gonna be a wild surge, and that basically just wild magic happens. I gave her a bit of dirt and grime on her face and boots, although you can't really see it well on her face because the fire and the lighting and the shading kind of blocks that out. But, you know, I tried my best. As difficult as the hair was, it was very fun to actually draw, though. I also gave her some, some little small packet bags on her sides to, you know, for when she carries tools and stuff like that. I couldn't show it on the other hip, but on the other hip she carries a small hammer, and in the little satchel on the outside of her hip is a screwdriver, a very small screwdriver, and a bunch of screws and metal and pieces of scrap and stuff like that. But yeah, that was Ash Wildfire, Fire Genasi, Wild Magic Barbarian, with the background of a Guild Artisan. Alright, and then for our third character for the race, it's going to be I don't want a second. Bruh. Okay, 6. Okay, what is that? A dwarf. Then for class, it's going to be a 12, which is a warlock. Ooh, a dwarf warlock. And then for the background, their background is going to be a sage. Okay, dwarf, warlock, sage. 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is just going to be red, orange, yellow, and green. You choose. Okay, cool. I'm gonna choose male. Glummkum Harar was once a devoted scholar, a sage given by an insatiable thirst for knowledge. Born into a world of books and scrolls, he spent his days poring over ancient texts, seeking to undiscover the mysteries of the universe. His intellect was sharp, his curiosity boundless, and he was admired by his peers for their dedication to the pursuit of truth. But as Glummkum delved deeper into the forbidden lore, his quest for knowledge took a darker turn. In the depths of an ancient library, Glummkum discovered a long-forgotten tome. Each page is filled with cryptic symbols and unsettling visions of a realm beyond comprehension. The book spoke of an entity known only as the Great Old One, a being of immense power and unfathomable intentions. The more Glummkum read, the more he became entranced by the promises of forbidden power. The allure of the unknown, the promises of the secrets that could reshape reality itself was too great to resist. Driven by ambition and a desire to transcend the limitations of his mortal existence, Glummkum sought out the entity. Through dark rituals and whispered incantations, he made contact with the Great Old One. The being's presence was overwhelming, its voice like 1,000 echoes in his mind, speaking in riddles and half-truths. The Great Old One offered him power beyond his wildest dreams, but its true intentions remained shrouded in mystery. Desperate to unlock the secrets of the universe, Glummkum struck a pact, binding his soul to the enigmatic entity. With his newfound powers, Glummkum's path quickly darkened. He used his abilities to manipulate and control those around him. His once noble quest for knowledge twisted into a hunger for dominance. But, as the years passed, the weight of his actions began to bear down on him. Visions of the suffering he caused haunted his dreams, and whispers of the Great Old One grew more insistent, threatening to unravel his sanity. In a moment of clarity, Glummkum realized the monstrous path he had walked. Overwhelmed by guilt and regret, he resolved to change his ways. Though the pact could not be undone, he chose to wield his powers for good, seeking redemption by helping others and protecting the innocent from the same darkness that had once consumed him. Now, Glummkum travels the world, a warlock with a haunted past, struggling to atone for his sins while battling the ever-present whispers of the Great Old One, whose true intentions remain inscrutable as ever. Glummkum likes to rely on reason, you know, stating facts instead of suspicions, and not really liking to dwell on dreams and more so acting on ambition. I gave him a more formal appearance since, you know, his character is, you know, I would imagine since he's a sage, he'd be well versed into, you know, proper etiquette and stuff like that. So he cares about his appearance a lot, even dressing up in fancy suits and stuff like that, and, you know, making sure his hair is combed back, making sure his beard is, you know, tied up neatly and stuff like that. He likes suits. Fun fact about him, he really likes suits. Reason being, no reason. He just thinks they're cool. He likes suits. Since he's a sage, he spent lots of time, you know, traveling the world, learning secrets, and, you know, a lot of time trying to find the Great Old One back in his younger days. So he is a bit of an old man, but that's okay. We still love him for that anyways. He has a little scar on his head because his warlock symbol, or warlock pack symbol thing, is literally in his skull. Because when he was young, because back then when he made the pact, he kind of, you know, cut open a bit of his skull to put in the warlock symbol thing on his forehead. Or on a skull head. Skull head. Yes, whatever makes more sense. So that's Glummkum Harar, a dwarf warlock who owns his soul to the Great Old One, a sage of great knowledge. Yes, that makes sense. And then for our final character, we're going to have an 11, which is going to be a half-orc. Okay, number 6, a cleric. Half-orc cleric. Ooh, I like that. Half-orc cleric with the background of a haunted one. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, background of a haunted one. 1, 3, 4, 6. So red, yellow, green, and purple. And their gender is going to be my choice. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do non-binary because I think that's fun. Kuzur Setah, a half-orc with a past steeped in shadows, was born into a village that balanced on the edge of light and darkness. Raised in a tight-knit community where their mother's gentle healing hands and their father's formidable strength was cherished, Kuzur learned only to respect both the sanctuary of life and the inevitability of death. Their world was shattered one fateful night when a dark sorcerer arrived, seeking to raise an army of undead. The village, once a haven in peace, was engulfed in chaos. Kuzur, caught in the midst of the attack, fought bravely alongside their fellow villagers, but their efforts were in vain, and Kuzur was captured by the sorcerer, who saw them as a vessel for dark transformation. Bound and on the brink of becoming an undead thrall, Kuzur's life was nearly extinguished. In their final moments, they reached out with a desperate prayer to any deity that might listen. Their cry was answered by Kuzur, the god of the dead. A surge of divine energy shattered the necromancer's ritual, and Kuzur was pulled back from the brink of death. Though they were freed, the scars of the ritual, both physical and emotional, remained. The once vibrant village lay in ruins, and Kuzur was haunted by the specters of those they couldn't save. Racked with guilt, and driven by a newfound understanding of the fragile boundary between life and death, Kuzur pledged himself to Kuzur. As a grave domain cleric, Kuzur travels from place to place, offering solace to the grieving, performing sacred rites, and protecting the living from the darkness they once faced. Although they are a devoted servant of Kuzur, they are haunted by the nightmares of undeath and the faces of those they lost. Their path is one of redemption, driven by the desire to honor the dead and ensure that no one else endures the same horrors that they narrowly escaped. Kuzur's journey is marked by a solemn purpose and a deep personal struggle. Their commitment to preserving the natural order of life and death is unwavering, even as they battle the inner demons of their traumatic past. So, long story short, they have trauma. Half their face is, zombified, because, they were almost transformed into a zombie. And, and they absolutely hate undead. They hate undead, but they are terrified of undead at the same time. The potion they have is a potion of reverse undead. I know there's a name for that, but I'm calling it reverse undead because I want to. I guess some fun facts about them is they've never been to a carnival, and they want to go to a carnival one day to experience the joy of a carnival. They've never been on a roller coaster or they've never been to a festival or carnival or anything of the sorts. So yeah, they are a bit skittish. They are a bit, nervous about everything. They're not very confident in their own talents, even though they are very talented. They tend to also kind of, they try not to, obviously, but they also tend to kind of, have others push them around a bit too often. Something that they are aware of, but they don't really have the voice to speak up often. So that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, today's video was a bit different, but I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. If you guys liked what I did, then let me know by liking the video or by commenting, and yeah, I'll do this again if you guys want me to. I really enjoyed doing this. This was really fun. Again, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Love you guys. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.